All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue year one with our Arizona Coyotes. We just finished the regular season, and we did not make the playoffs. Our record 32, 43, and 7. So right now, I think we sit third last in the NHL. Just show you the team standings again quickly. Third last in the NHL. Or was it second? No, it was second, right? We were tied with Carolina. They're third last. The worst pick that we can get is the third overall pick, because if Carolina, Winnipeg, Buffalo, or any teams above us win the lottery, then that will push Columbus to number 2. It'll push us to number 3. So the worst pick that we can have in this year's draft is the third overall pick. All right, so that's pretty good. We also have I think it's Boston's first round picks. That could be like a trading asset, right? So our AHL team is not in the playoffs. Our NHL team is not in the playoffs. I believe our AHL team is not in the playoffs. Hang on. I actually didn't check the standings. I'm just going off their record. I think they were just like a 500 team the last time we did the simulating. So hang on a sec. Let me just, yeah. All right, so the AHL team's not going to be in the playoffs either. So we'll simulate ahead here, and we got to figure out what we're going to do in off-season. We had a huge trade deadline, pre-trade deadline, post-trade deadline. We made some moves, and we basically told everyone that this team is a rebuilding team. But we still have some assets for next year that, I'm not going to say that I want to make the playoffs next year. Obviously, I want to, but it's not the end of the world if we miss it. But if we miss the playoffs next year, then we have even more trading assets that we can use to fill up the spots on our team that we need to fill up. Now, I don't know what those spots are going to be like just yet, because we still have the draft ahead of us. We need to use this year's draft to figure out which players we're going to have in the minors, because I'm hoping that we can get some 4-star players. So I got to figure out who we get from the draft here. And then next year, if we don't make the playoffs, then we trade away a guy like Mike Smith, Keith Yandel, Gagne, Hansel, Bodker. I'm not saying I'm going to trade all of them, but those are our trading assets right now. And we can use those guys to trade for like some depth or something else that we need, right? Because we have Gormley on the point. We have Gormley, Ekman Larson, and Stone. Those look like the 3 guys who are going to be our defensemen of the future. Hopefully, Ekman Larson is a top 2. Gormley, hopefully, he's a top 4. I don't think he'll get to top 2. If he does, that'd be awesome. But hopefully a top 4. And if Stone can be a top 4, that would be nice. But maybe he's just going to be a top 6. So we could use 3 more defensemen. With the trade deadline, we tried to improve our offensive core, because we already had Pierlini and Domi on the left. But we really didn't have any prospects down the middle or on the right side. So we went after Toivo Teravainen from Chicago. He was 4.5 Red Star potential. So I'm looking for at least a second-line center out of Teravainen. If he can become a first-line center, that would be great. But at least a second-line center. And then Nail Yakupov for the first-line right wing. Same thing with Yakupov. I expect him to become at least a second-liner. It'd be nice if he could become a first-liner, though. You know what? Hang on a sec. Yeah, it's our last little bit of scouting. I can just do, I shouldn't just go fast forward through that. All right, so let's go back to the scouting assignment here. Scouting. And we'll actually check out the scouting report, who's projected to go in the top 5 right now. So it's looked like it's Connor McDavid, number 1. Matthew Barzal, number 2. He's a center. Playmaker, 17 years old. He's actually younger than McDavid. Nicholas Malak, a defenseman. Ryan Pylon, another defenseman. All right. Hidnick, right wing, 2-way forward. Konecki, center playmaker. All right. So there must be some goalies. There it is. You're right there. Yeah, okay. So there's a lot of goalies in the top 5 this year. In year number 1, you got Jake Smith, you got Brendan Hope, and you got Patrick Polovica. All right. So there's actually a lot of goalies in this year's draft. Holy shit. So that actually might be something we want to go after. I want to get Connor McDavid, though. I know I've been reading your comments. You guys have been saying you should go after Connor McDavid if you don't get the first overall pick. I want to, but I don't know if that's realistic, because Connor McDavid is like one of those players where if a team got the lottery, they wouldn't trade away that draft pick. You know what I mean? They may entertain it, but I don't think they would trade it away. And in this game, I know I could probably just trade my 4th overall or my 3rd overall in a second and get it. That's not realistic. So if I'm going to trade for him, I got to make it a realistic trade. OHL. Forwards, let me just search by... Really haven't gotten much. Yeah, I'll just go back to the OHL. There's 199 prospects in here. Spend 6 weeks. Haven't got a single white star potential there, which means that we haven't scouted everyone in the OHL just yet. We haven't even got somebody, at least one person, fully scouted. So I'll update my scout a little bit more. Not that it's going to matter. Next year's draft is going to be a little bit easier to find some gems. But this year, we have a lot of firsts. Well, not first, but seconds. We have a lot of seconds. So I'm hoping that we can get at least... What did we have again? We had like 4 second-round picks and 2 first-round picks, so like 6. If I can get like 3 4-star players at least with like good, like not red star, like yellow star with like a good high 60s, mid 60s, low 70s 4-star potential, that'd be nice. You can always get like 4 red star potential or 3.5 red star potential sometimes, so you got to be careful. That's why we're with the scouting, you know. You don't just pick the next player projected in the draft now. You actually, what's it called? You actually look at the potential. I might take somebody who's listed in the 5th round. I might take them in the 3rd round the way it is. So your Stanley Cup champions, the Chicago Blackhawks. So the good news is that Shane Doan won the Stanley Cup. All right. So we traded Shane Doan to Chicago, and he ended up winning the Stanley Cup with Chicago. Good. So if he retires, I don't know if he's going to retire. He's got 1 year left on his contract, I think. But at least we traded him to a team that could help him perform. All right. So we saw Edmonton and Calgary at the top of the Western Conference during the regular season. But at least during the playoffs, a team like Chicago wins the Stanley Cup. That's at least it's realistic for year number 1. And with all the simulations that I've done, I've seen teams like the Rangers win it. I've seen Boston win it. Chicago and LA. I've seen other teams. Well, Pittsburgh I've seen win it, right? Year number 1, a lot of the teams that you expect to win it, more than not, they do win it with these rosters, right? So let's just go to Chicago. Not Shane Doan didn't retire, so it looks like he's going to have 1 more year. Here are all the retirements for you guys. All right. Phoenix... Are we listed as Arizona in this game, or is it still... No, it is Arizona. Yeah, all right. So Matthias Ohlund. So there's a little bit of salary cap that we have got back now. And there are the goaltenders. All right. So we are up here at the draft. We are ready to go. Let me just make sure I don't lose any of this. All right, that's much better. So we're up here at the draft. Now let's figure out who we're going to go after and who we need. Now there might have been some more growth here. So let me just go back to player progress reports. There might not have been, but sometimes there is. Maybe that's just because if you have a playoff run, maybe your players get better. We didn't have a playoff run, so maybe these guys... I'm trying to look. No, it looks pretty similar than from last time. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that the same way. So that's been taken care of. Scouting report. Let's go back to the scouting report and see who's available in the top 5 again. See if it stays the same. It may have changed. All right, so Pylon, there we go. We got Pylon uncovered. He is 4.5 white star. All right, so that means he could be red star potential, could be gold star, but it is 4.5. Whatever it is 4.5. And the good thing about Ryan Pylon is he's listed as a first rounder. So, I mean, he could go 11th overall behind all the goaltenders who are supposed to go in the top 10. All right, we didn't really scout goaltenders at all this year, but the top 10 is littered with goaltenders. Skaters, McDavid, Barzell, Malak. All right, so these guys look like they're going to go in the top 10. You might be able to get Pylon at number 11, though. That could be a pick. 12, 13. Konecki, he's another good one. All right. Yep. All right, so 11 and 12 could be some valuable picks this year as well. I might want to move up to 11 and 12 to get Pylon if I could. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And let me just go back to all skaters here. Hang on. There you go. Let me sort by potential. Just give it a second to go. It's got to go through all the players in the draft. All right, so we have some white star potential here. Pylon is 4.5 white star. Blake Clark is 4 star. Well, I mean, these guys, though, like Strome, Barzell, McDavid, I'm pretty sure that they're better than 4-star or 4-star, but sometimes it can be 3.5 if you don't have it fully uncovered. Green means fairly accurate or very accurate. White means absolutely sure, right? So we know Clark is 4-star. We know Pylon is 4.5 star. There's a bunch of guys down here. Look, like this guy's projected to go in the 7th round, Riley Sheen, but he's 3.5 star. Could be 3.5 red star, right? But there's still somebody in the 4th round there. So, yeah, our draft, our scout really wasn't the greatest this year. We didn't uncover too many scouts, all right? But it's year number 1. That's why we loaded up on the draft picks. All right, so that's that taken care of. Now, we're going to go into the draft. I just want to show you guys one more thing. So, for goaltenders, right, we have Mark Byzantine. So, that's why we don't really need to draft a goalie. If I could get a 4.5 star potential goalie, that would be nice, but I'm sure a few of those goalies are 4-star, right? So we already have Mark Byzantine, who's 4-star at 80 overall, basically, so we don't need to get a goalie. All right, we're back. Just had to turn off a program on my computer. So for defensemen, right? Yes, defensemen. We have Oliver Ekman-Larsson. We have Gormley. We have Murphy, but he's only 4 red star, so maybe a top 6. And Stone, he might hit his cap at 82. Top 6, all right? So we actually could use some defense. We have some trading assets, but you know what? We could use some defense now because I think we've done a pretty good job getting some forward prospects. Now we have Teravainen, we have Yakupov, Gagne, Bodker. Bodker, I guess, is still kind of young, but I'm looking at prospects here. Teravainen, Yakupov, Pierlini, Domi. Dauphin, 3.5 star. They don't really count anymore, 3.5 star. They're good depth, but I'm looking for like top 6 players. Domi, Pierlini, Yakupov, and Teravainen. So another center, another right winger, and some defensemen still. That's basically what we could use. And if I can get a goalie, then I'll get a goalie. All right, but not before I get everything else. So here we go, year 1 draft. We're gonna see the lottery now. Where are the Arizona Coyotes gonna finish in the lottery? Are we gonna get number 1, number 2, or number 3? Please, I'll take number 2. All right, number 1 would be nice. Just don't give me number 3. I'll take number 2. I'll take number 2. I'll take number 2. I'll take number. Oh my God! I got number 3. God damn it! All right, so the New Jersey Devils. They got number 1. They won the lottery. They moved up to the first overall pick. Columbus has got number 2, and we got number 3. All right, so it doesn't look like we're going to be able to get Connor McDavid here, boys, because why, oh why, would the New Jersey Devils trade away Connor McDavid? That's my question to you guys. You know, we know that they would take it first. They don't want to give it up, all right? So I know I could give up my 3rd and my 28th just to get Connor McDavid, but that's not realistic. I don't want to do that, and I can actually get a 4-star player at 28, right? If this was going to go through, you'd have to give a younger player back with good trade value, like an Oliver Ekman-Larsson and a 1st. That could work, but now I know you guys don't want me to do that, right? That's what I mean about a trade. If it's too easy on my side, you know, like, it's just, I don't want to do it. I could get Connor McDavid here, but, nah, New Jersey wouldn't trade away that pick, so I'm not going to do it, all right? But I will try to move up to the 2nd pick because I got my eyes on Matthew Barzal. Malak, I think, was another defender there, all right? Oh, no, sorry. Malak was the defender. Matthew Barzal was the, what's it called? It's the center, and I wouldn't mind getting the center. Carolina's got the 4th. Who had the 1st? Oh, it was Columbus, right? It was Columbus, my bad. Columbus, yes, and they want to give up the 2nd. All right, so they want to give up the 2nd. They don't want the 3rd. All right, hang on. They want to give up the 2nd here. I might be able to keep the 3rd and get 2 players. Goalies, no, they don't want Mike Smith. Ekman-Larsson, they want. Yandel, they want. Hey, I could trade away Yandel this year. I kind of want Yandel for next year, but I mean, that is a... Can they accept the... Yeah, they can. Columbus wants Keith Yandel. All right, who else? Yakupov, new. Bodker, Domi, they want Bodker as well. Bodker, Gagne, Teravainen, they want Sam Gagne. I wouldn't mind trading away Sam Gagne to Columbus. All right, Gagne and Yandel for the 2nds. Ooh. Gagne and... Yeah, that would go through. Yeah. And then, because Yandel is still in his prime, and it looks like Columbus wants to make the playoffs next year. 28 years old offensive defenseman. Originally, I didn't want to trade this guy away, but you know what? To get the 2nd overall pick without having to give up the 3rd, I'd rather just do this now. And then next year, we have Ekman-Larsson and Gormley on the first line. I could use free agency to get some defensemen, and we can just make the rebuild. Because I don't think next year, I mean, where do I want to, do I want to give up on next year already? That's the thing. I could get Barzal at number 3, though. That's... I don't know what to do. All right. Yandel, I don't really want to give up. Not yet, because I can give him up at the trade deadline next year. I know I can get the 2nd, but you got to think for next year, right? I don't want to just get everything I can this year and then automatic failure next year, and then you have like a 3-year fail with a nice draft. Fine, it works, but I do want to come back and see what we can do next. No, I got to hold on to Yandel. Yandel and Ekman-Larsson. I got to have at least a first line. And for forwards, we already have Hansel, we have Bodker, and then the right winger Yakupov. That's why Gagne is... I don't mind trading away Gagne, because we have a first line without Gagne still. Hansel, Bodker, and Yakupov. Dauphin. Wouldn't mind trading away Lesio, McInnes, McMillan, Chipchura. I got to hold on to these guys for depth. No. All right, so I'll trade away Sam Gagne for the 2nd. I'm going to have to get a player back the other way. Hang on, all skaters. Let me just get somebody with 1. There you go. All right, Sam Gagne, the 2nd. And now I am going to... What other draft picks do you guys have? The 31. All right. Sam Gagne, 2nd. I'll give you the 54th. All right, Sam Gagne and the 54th. What other players? Do I have any other players I could give up here? Bodker, Pierlini, Domi, Samuelson. Samuelson grew, though. No, he could be... Nah, he's got 80 overall for faceoffs. That's a good third or fourth liner of the future. You need that just as much as you need a first liner. Stone, Lesio. Lesio didn't really grow, though. You know what? I'm going to put Lesio up here because he's a left winger, and I already have Pierlini and Domi. And during the... he had a good season during the AHL, but he didn't grow. He might have capped off at 78 overall. All right, so... And to get something, you got to give up something. So I'll give up Lesio, the second, Gagne... I got to get another player back. All right, there you go. Very nice. Crescenzi. All right, Gagne, second. You know what? I got to make this realistic. I got to put the 28th in there instead of the second. All right, so first, so we're moving up. They still have a first-round pick from it. Gagne, a first. Lesio. And then, as well as the first, you get the second. So they get 2 draft picks for the second overall. Sam Gagne, who helps out their center, a left-wing prospect of the future, and then a 5th as well. All right, I want to make these trades at least somewhat realistic. They missed out on Connor McDavid. They don't want the second-round pick. They want to give it up, all right, and they're getting a second-line center. They have a first-round pick. They have a left-wing prospect, a second-round pick, and a 5th-round pick. Yep, I think that would go through, all right? So I try to make it even for Columbus. Will it go through? Yes, it did. I doubt anybody will think Columbus came out on the short end of the stick with this trade. So it's a done deal, all right? So there's the trade right there. Columbus Blue Jackets. I did not want to make it too easy, so there you go, all right? And also what we're going to do is, I want to see, let me just find the team with the 11th overall pick here. I want to see if it's a possibility to snag up that pick. If it's not, I'm not going to give up too much for it. But I want to see who's got the 11th. The 10th, Florida. 11th, okay, LA. You want to give me this 11th overall pick. I want to hold on to those seconds. No, I want to hold on to those seconds. The thirds, I want to hold on to the thirds as well. I don't want to give those up. How much trade value is it? That's a decent amount of trade value. Goalies, Byzantine, Burke. Nope. Defenseman, Stone, Gormley. Nope, nobody there. Nope. Pierlini, Bodker, Domi, no. Hansel, Teravainen, Samuelson, no. Okay, we have nobody to trade away for the... I could trade up for like a... I could move like a second and a third to move up for it. Maybe. But I can maybe get good players with that second and third. And there's no guarantee that Pylon drops to 11. So you know what? We made our trade. Let's not go crazy. I want quantity with the draft picks. I don't want just necessarily quality. All right. If I was doing that, I would get like 4 first-round picks and nothing else. But I don't want that. All right. So we made our trade for the second-round pick. Connor McDavid gets chosen first overall. And now we have 2 and 3 to use our draft picks. All right. So Matthew Barzal, this is the guy I wanted to go after. Hopefully he is 4.5 star. All right. But you never know. So Matthew Barzal, right-handed playmaker from the WHL Seattle. He's 18 years old, so he was 17. He just turned 18. All right, Matthew Barzal, boom. Welcome to the Arizona Coyotes. And now with draft pick number 2. All right, so with draft pick number 2, we have Nicholas Malak. Okay, look at that. Pylon actually is in top 10 now, so the 11th pick wouldn't have worked anyways. So Malak is a defenseman at 17 years old, right-handed. Pylon is a... Sorry, I was just thinking there. I'm trying to think about Ekman Larson. Is he left-handed or right-handed? Shit, forget. Two-way. They're both two-way defenders. WHL and the QMJHL. Now, Malak. Thing about Malak is I don't know if he's 4.5 gold star potential. Right? He is supposed to go ahead, but I have nothing scouted on him, and I don't know if he's supposed to go. I don't know if he's supposed to go second overall. Right now, Pylon. He doesn't like. We know he's 4.5 star potential. Now it could be red star, but. You know, do you go with the possible 4-star? Or do you go with the guaranteed 4.5 star red star? You know what I mean? Goaltenders, let's just check out the goalies, top 5. So there's some top 5s right here. I'm not going after a goalie. All right, I don't trust that. I don't know if they're a 4-star. So Malak or Pylon. Malak or Pylon. You know what? I'm going to go after the left-handed Ryan Pylon because I know for a fact that he's got that potential. All right, so we'll take a look at Malak, see if I made the right call or the wrong call. Malak, all right, so they took the 3 goalies there. Holy crap. Malak, oh man, 10th? Yeah, okay, so Malak, 10th went Malak to the Florida Panthers, so I'll check out Florida after this. All right, so we'll just take a look at all these draft picks as well. Connor McDavid, you guys probably want to take a look at, and Malak. You know what, I'll probably just go through all the teams. with their rookies and the rookie goaltenders. All right, so there you go. We'll skip ahead. All right, so there is the first round of drafting. We have Matthew Barzal and Ryan Pylon, defenseman. So we have a center and a defenseman. So second round. Let's see who we can grab here now. All right, so we have Alex Forsberg. Alex Forsberg, wasn't he already drafted? Or am I thinking of somebody else? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Nighty. All right, Jeremy Roy. All right, so I'm sure a few of these players are better than 3-star, right? I just don't have them scouted. So I'm going to sort by potential here, and we're going to see. There you go. We got some players here. All right, so Strome, Dylan Strome, he's 4-star. Clark is 4-star. These guys are all 3.5-star. All right, so I'm going to take my chances on the 4-star players here. All right, so we got Clark, who's supposed to go in the second or third round. Strome, who's supposed to go in the 5th round. So I'll snag up Blake Clark first. He's a left winger, but you know what? He's a guaranteed 4-star, so I'm going to pick him up. All right, so I'll pick up Blake Clark. Now I have 2 picks back-to-back. All right, so nobody down here. Sprong, Daniel Sprong, he's a right wing. He is 3.5-star potential. Might want to grab him, actually, because I think he's 4.5 red star, I believe. I've seen him before. But we also have Dylan Strome here, who's guaranteed 4-star. Could be red star, but I don't know. DePerna, McFadden, Sheen, Devlin. All right, well, the good thing about Strome is he's going in the 5th round, so I could pick him up in the 3rd round maybe if the computers don't pick him up. Tyson Bailey, same thing. All right. So what we're going to do is, instead of going after all these guys, I want to try and take a gamble here on... on what's his name? Sprong, because he is a sniper, and he's a guaranteed 3.5-star sniper. So if Yakupov can be a first liner, this guy could maybe be a second liner. All right, so Daniel Sprong, second round. Now, it was yellow star potential, so it could be higher, it could be lower. But I've seen him before, I think. So we'll go after that. Dermott. Remember, green star doesn't mean anything. It could be red star. That just means that it's fairly accurate. So I'm still in the 2nd round, so I don't want to go after Strome just yet. Sheen, Devlin, see some of these guys. Anybody? All right, so it's basically all these guys. So I can guarantee myself some 3.5-star players. I don't want that. You know what? I'll try with some of these guys. This guy, Travis Dermott, because he could be 4-star because it's green. It's 3.5 green, right? So Dermott's a defenseman. He's a left-handed defenseman. What else can we get here? Defenseman, sniper. Here's a sniper. Nikita Korostelov. He's a right wing. You know what? I'm gonna get this guy, Korostelov, because just like Sprong, one of these guys hopefully is a good sniper, and he's a right wing, just like Sprong. So you know what? Korostelov. There you go. Grab that 2 right wingers right there. Blake Clark was a left winger. I got a center in the 1st round and a defenseman. All right, so that sets up what's his name? Dylan Strome right here. All right, my last 2 picks. All right, so the 3rd pick, I'm going to pick up Strome right here. Hopefully no other team picked him up. Hang on a second here. Where is he? There he is. Okay, so he's still there. He's supposed to go in the 5th round. I'm going to pick him up right now because I have no other picks other than the 3rd round. All right, and our last draft pick is going to be Mitchell Marner, playmaker, Kraus. Let me just sort by potential again. 3rd round potential, it looks like, are the best bets. All right, no. I don't want those guys. I'll go for these green star because it could be 4-star. 2-way forward, 2-way forward, 2-way for center. I could use this another center. 2-way forward. Bailey, 2-way forward. Yeah, I think I'll take Bailey. Mitch Marner. Bailey's supposed to go in the 3rd or 4th. Mitch Marner's supposed to go in this 3rd. You know what? I'll go with Mitchell Marner from London, Ontario. There you go. All right. So, Strome, Marner. I got 3 centers, a left wing, 2 right wingers, and a defenseman. All right. So, there is the year 1 draft. So, who got the... it was Malak was the big one. I chose Pylon over Malak, and that was the Florida Panthers. All right. So, we'll check out the Florida Panthers. We'll check out a bunch of the teams. We'll check out Connor McDavid as well. All right. We'll do all that good stuff. And let's simulate to the re-sign stage, and let me just make sure I don't lose this. All right, that's much better. So the re-sign stage, let's get into this. We're not actually going to re-sign any players in this video because free agency's in the next one. I want to set it up for that. All right, so you guys can just, we're not going to have salary cap problems, so don't worry. All right, but let's take a look at the rookie skaters. that we were able to snag up. All right, so oh, thank God. All right, so Ryan Pylon, the stars did not deceive me. He is 4.5 gold star potential, not red star. So Ryan Pylon, he was a good player to snag up at number 3, and Matthew Barzell, there you go. There's our he is 4.5 star potential. So there's our second and third pick. We did not get Connor McDavid, but we did end up getting 2 players, all right? Ryan Pylon and Matthew Barzell. Daniel Sprong, all right, oh, there it is. Yeah, 4.5 red star potential. Holy shit, Dylan Strome? Look at that, boys. I did not expect that whatsoever. Dylan Strome he was projected to go in the 5th round. I snagged him up in the 3rd round. He is a 4.5 red star potential center playmaker, all right? So I was thinking that guy could be 3.5. Jesus, this you mean about the scouting in this, man? You can find some good players. So Dylan Strome, man, he was a great pickup. Tara Vinen, he's still there. Korosteloff, oh man, I thought he was 4.5 red star, gold star as well. He's 4 gold star though. Blake Clark, 4 gold star. Pierlini, 4 star. Domi, 4 star. Marner's 4 star. Oh my God, my picks were amazing. McInnes, all right. Anybody else? Anybody? Every single one of my picks was a good one. Now, the overalls, I didn't get anybody like mid-70s, so they're still going to take some years to get better. Like, Marner's only 62, Clark's only 63, Korosteloff's only 61, 61, 63, 63, 66. You can draft some guys like high 60s and even low 70s, so I could have gotten somebody like that if they were available, right? But I'm not going to complain. I like that. That was a good draft. And I didn't have to give up, what's his name? I didn't have to give up, Yandel. So let's go through some of the teams here, see everybody else that was drafted, maybe some names that you guys would recognize. Primo, he wasn't bad. Samuelson, I think Par Samuelson, yeah. There you go. You know what, I'm not going to read them all out. We'll just go through them. They actually got some good players. Carolina at number 4. Chicago. Colorado got some 3.5 star players there. Nice. We'll go through the goaltenders as well. I really want to take a look at the Florida Panthers, though. Hiddick, Bittner. All right, Dallas got some good players. All right. Yep, Florida now. All right, Malak. All right, so there he is. So he was also 4.5 stars, so I could have drafted him, even though it didn't show me the potential. He's also younger, but I think Pylon was a better overall. I think it was like 63 or something like that, right? So it could have gone either way. Malak was the right-handed defenseman. I went with Pylon, who was the left-handed defenseman. Ooh, I wonder, you know what, I'll take a look at my team after that. Was that a right decision or a wrong decision? Let's just go through. I want to see if there's any, like, I want to see if there's any, like, 3 or 4.5 star potential players found anywhere else. All right. Yep. Yeah, see, there's plenty of 4-star potential players out there, especially in year number 1. Plenty of them. There's Connor McDavid, all right? So, yeah, see, what's his name? Barzell was only like 60-something overall. Connor McDavid's coming into the NHL at 74 overall with 18 years old at 4.5 green star potential, all right? So he would have been the better player for sure, but you know what? I'm fine with it. We got what we needed. There you go. Oh, there you go. DeCall. Oh, no, DeCall was already 4.5 star. All right. Rangers, 4 star. All right. Philly, they didn't get anybody. They got a 3.5 star. Pittsburgh, it looks like they got 2 4-star players. Godolbin, Korolev, yeah. San Jose got a few 4-star. St. Louis, Tampa Bay. These also could have been from the year before, right? Toronto got a 4-star player. Vancouver, they got a few as well. Yep. Konecki, there would have been another good one. Konecki, center playmaker. I remember I was thinking about drafting him. Forsberg, all right. Ehlers. See, some of these are still from the year before that the computer just haven't signed yet, like Nick Ritchie, all right, blah, all that stuff. Goalies now. Let's see some of these goalies that were in the top. I'll just stop on any 4.5 star potential goalies here. There you go. There's Polvika. So Buffalo, they got a goalie of the future now. It's not bad. I forget which teams drafted. There you go. Jake Smith. Looks like they drafted a goalie. They draft 2 goalies. I don't even know, man. They got some good goalies there in Carolina, though. Chicago. Colorado, Parent. I think he was already in the NHL. Keep going here. Any other potential goaltenders? Because these are potential trading assets. Just so you guys can Google Vaz. Los Angeles got another goal, even though they have Jonathan Quick. Moody, new. So, like, basically, when it comes to 4-star players, 4-star players means that the guy is going to be a good NHL player. It doesn't mean that they're going to be first liners, but they have the chance to become a good NHL player. That's why you're going to see a lot of 4-star potential players now. All right, but you got to look at their overall with the 4-star, with their age. That's how you can determine. If somebody's 18 years old, 68 with 4-star, that's fantastic. If somebody's 22, 60 overall with 4-star, well, it's good, but it's more of a third liner good, maybe a second liner. You can make 4-star potential players become first liners if they progress early enough. All right, so there you go. There are all the the goaltenders. And now, when it comes to defense, let me just see. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, please be... I thought he was right-handed. Damn it, he's left-handed. So maybe Malak would have been the better idea. But it's not the end of the world because we still have Yandel and we still have... What's Gormley? Gormley's left-handed as well, so I should have taken the right-handed defenseman. That's all right, though. It's not the end of the world. All right, so let me know what you guys think about the Arizona Coyotes. All right, increasing their prospect pool. So now when it comes to sorting by potentials, Ekman-Larsson, Pylon, Barzell, Gormley, Sprong, Teravainen, Strome, Yakupov, Clark, Domi, Marner, Korostelov, Bodker, Pirlini, and yeah, that's about it. All right, so and Byzantine as well. So let me know what you guys think. Year 2 is on the way. I still want to try and make the playoffs for year number 2. So some of these rookies, I don't think we even need to sign this year because they can still play in the AHL or the CHL until they turn 20 years old. All right. So let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next one.